Hi, this is Carrie from Scrapyard Chicks, and I just wanted to show you what our project is for the week. It is an album that's actually made out of paper bags. I did it with a school theme, and of course, I love to do all these funky closures. So this is actually a pencil. I got a whole pack of them at the Dollar Tree for $1, and I just cut it and then I sharpened it down so it was about 4 inches long. And my closure is actually just a regular old rubber band. And then when you open this up, it looks like this. And these are actually red paper bags. And I got these red paper bags at Target, I believe. It's just really fun. I don't know if it's a seasonal thing. But basically every one of the paper bags, and I'll go through this in the directions when I show you how to put it together, is joined together with a little pocket. And we're going to do two different kinds of pockets. This kind where you insert these tags like this. And then there's another pocket like this that we're going to do like a tube that you insert some little pieces along the sides. So it's actually 3 different paper bags, and then each bag there is an insert so you can do some photos. And so I did this with the school theme because I know the school year is coming to an end. So you've got all these great little flaps to include some little pictures. You could do this for a teacher's book. You could do this as a memento for somebody who's graduating, or maybe graduating kindergarten or going on to high school, you know, just kind of whatever you would like. So we're going to use 3 bags for this, and then we're going to do all these fun little inserts and stuff. So you can kind of see how that works. And the paper that we use is by October Afternoon. I just love their vintage kind of vibe with this kind of a fun game board kind of look like that. So anyway, so stay tuned and we'll show you how to put this all together. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to do the bags and the enclosures. So what you want to do is you want to use just a regular lunch sack. I have found red ones, you could use brown ones, you can use white ones, whatever you like to do. The first thing that you want to do with each one of your lunch sacks is you just want to fold, see this is the bottom gusset part, you just want to fold this over like that. Just use your bone folder to get a nice crisp edge there. You can put a little bit of adhesive under this flap if you'd like to secure that down. So we're going to fold this over like this, and then we're going to trim this so that this is 7 inches long in total. And so that's, I've already done that on that bag right there. You could leave them a little bit longer because, as you can see with this project, you actually do have a little bit of extra room out here. So if you like that sort of that fun edge on it, you could definitely leave them like that. So we're gonna do 3 bags. So we've got our 3 bags. They're all folded over like this. We're just going to put these off to the side for just a second because we're going to do the insert piece first. And so we're going to start out with the one that looks like these little pockets right here. You can get one of these out of each one of your 12 by 12 cardstocks because you need it for it to be 7 inches wide. So we go ahead and cut a piece of cardstock. I'm going to do these in white because I think it just shows up a little bit easier. So you want this piece to be 7 inches this way and 8.5 inches this way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to score this over here at the 5.5 inch mark, like that. And then we're going to turn this and we're going to score this at 3.5 inches. Like that. So we end up with a piece that looks like this. Then we're just going to go ahead and fold that along those score lines. So you have a piece that looks like this. So you can kind of see how easy that is to put together. That's our little pocket like this. And then what we're going to do on the sides right over here is we're going to cut out of our scrap, we're going to cut a piece that is 1 by 3. And I'll just go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how that works. Sorry, I forgot about this little step when I was getting my prep ready. So we're going to cut some little pieces that are 1 by 3. You can do them out of a different color if you want, kind of whatever you like. We're going to score these in half lengthwise, or you can fold them. So this is a 1 by 3 piece. We're just going to fold that in half lengthwise, and then we're going to go ahead and put our adhesive on the sides of it like this. And then we're just going to use that just to seal up the outside of our pocket. Now, if for some reason it runs a little bit long, just trim it off along the bottom edge. But that's all there is to that first little pocket. So you can see how that goes together like that. That's going to be our first little pocket, and you're going to make 2 of these. I did one out of yellow and one out of green. You can, of course, do whatever colors that you want. But for the 3 bags, you definitely need, you're going to need 4 pockets total. So that's going to be our first type of pocket. The second one is going to be this tube like this that has these little inserts on the sides. For that, you need a piece that is 7 by 12, just like this. We are going to score this at 3 and at 8.5. And then we're going to fold that into our tube shape, just like that. And then we're going to, once it's all done like that, then you're going to put it back in your trimmer and your score pal like this, and we're going to score it at 3.5 because we want to fold that in half. Now, what you probably should have done was I probably should have sealed up my pocket first. Really embossed down those score lines good, and then done it at 3.5. And basically, you're just doing it in half. I didn't do a very good job. Mine's kind of crookedy there. So then just take your bone trimmer and really kind of get a nice fold. So you end up with a piece that looks like this. Now, I wanted my seam along the back. If you like the look of the seam and you want it to be on the front, you can do it that way. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to reach in your circle punch halfway and punch out your thumb pulls along the sides. And you want to mark this so that it's halfway and everything, but I'm just doing this just to kind of demonstrate how this goes together. So that is our second pocket. So we started out with 7 by 12, and then we did our different scoring. So that's going to go like that. So we've got so far we've got 2 pockets put together. Let me quick seal up this other one before, and I'm just going to show you how you're going to put these into, how we're going to put together our bag album with this. Okay, so we've got, oops, I did that the wrong way. Okay, so we've got 2 of our pockets. You're going to need 4 total, so you can go ahead and make your other 2. Like I said, I did 1 out of each color. You want to cut your paper when you're doing this because you need a 7-inch mark. Cut it, cut a 7 by 12 and then cut it down from there. And then we're going to use those 5 by 7 pieces, or 5 by 12 pieces for something else. So far we have 2 pockets. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our first pocket, which is this little guy like this. So we are going to put adhesive on the back side of that, and that is just going to stick. And actually, because my bags are a little bit smaller than a regular lunch bag, I'm going to put my adhesive on the flap of my bag so that I don't end up with adhesive kind of going all over the place. So I'm just going to go ahead, put adhesive on the back of my bag, and then I'm just going to go, and then I'm going to put my first pocket right on there like that. See how that works? Okay, so I'm going to fold that over. Then I've got my next pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on that same area of my bag. I can see where that is because of the position on the other of this other bag over here. So you want to go ahead and you want to make sure you go all around that perimeter. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my next pocket. You want to make sure you're always matching them up along that binding area so they're nice and even. I'm going to go ahead and put my next pocket like that. So see how I've done that? I've got that bag like this. I went ahead and I glued that first one down to the flap. And then on the back side of that, I glued my second pocket. And then I'm going to take another bag. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that to the back side of that flap. We're just going to keep going through. Once again, you want to really make sure you've got your binding nice and even. And what I did with these, since my bags were a little bit smaller, is I made sure that they were all lined up along the bottom, like that. Okay, so we're going to actually glue this first piece into our front cover. So don't worry that this isn't glued to anything. That's going to go right into your front cover. So we've got our paper bag. So we've got our first pocket. We've got our paper bag like that. And then on the back side of that, we glued half of this pocket. And then we glued the flap of the next one onto our next bag. And then we're just going to continue on. We're going to do another one of these little pockets on the back side of this. And then we're going to glue another paper bag on there. So you can kind of see how that goes. So we're going to do 2 of each. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to do that real quick. And then I'll be back to show you how we're going to then fasten that into our covers. Okay, so what I've done is I made 2 more pockets. So I've attached each one of my paper bags together with those pockets. So half of the connector goes on the flap of the paper bag, and then the other half goes on the back of the pocket of the paper bag in front of it. So you can kind of see how that works. So we've got 4 different connectors, and we're using 3 different paper bags. So you can kind of see that from the top. Anyway, so what I've got now is I need to put my covers on. So I've got my pieces like this. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of chipboard that are 5.5 by 8. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put adhesive all over the back side of my first pocket. And you know what? You might want to use a liquid adhesive for this. I'm just using a tape runner for the our video, but you want this to really, really hold. And then once again, you want to make sure that you're right out there on that binding edge. Like that, and you want to match that up. And then you're just going to, that's how you're going to do it. You're just going to attach your front and your back cover doing that same idea. So now with this book, in addition, once you put the covers on, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to put the paper on the front and the back cover, because then we're going to do the closure part. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through the closure, and I'll show you how to do it on the video. So just a second, let me get my back cover on there, and I will show you real quickly how we're going to put that together if you've never done one of those. And then you're going to take all the rest of your scrap paper, and you're just going to go ahead and you're going to start filling in all of these spots inside. So what I did is I covered the whole, I cut all my big pieces first, I covered the fronts of all my bags, and then you're going to go through and you're going to cover all of the flaps. So I decided what paper I wanted for my cover, first of all, because that's going to be my largest piece, my front and my back. And then I just did a different piece for the front of each one of my bags. And then you can kind of see what you have left over to go through and do the rest of your covers. So what we've got now is we've got our book put together. So we're going to start with, I'm just going to demonstrate with a regular big pencil to kind of show you what we need to do that closure. But what I did is I cut my pencil down so that it was about 4 inches, and then and then I sharpened it down from there, but it's going to be too tricky to show you how that works. So I'm just going to show you with a full size pencil. So what you want for this part is you want a piece of wire that's about 6 inches long. You don't need very much. You can try to use a piece of string. I like wire because it's really easy to attach. So all we're going to do for this is we're going to put this over about 1.5 inches. And then I just went ahead and I marked with my paper piercer 2 holes. Whoops, not my paper piercer. 2 holes on either side. And then you're just going to pierce those holes through. And then what I do is I just take my wire in kind of a U shape like this. And then you're just going to go ahead, go like this. Thread that pencil through like so. Go on to the other side, and then you're just going to twist it off. And then what I did is I put a little bit of glue behind my pencil as well. And then you can go ahead and you can cover this up with paper, and then the back side of your wire doesn't show. So it's just a great little technique. Now to do the rubber band part on the back, we're going to do something very similar. I'm going to pretend like my wire is a rubber band. Where's my brad? I've got it hanging around over here. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark on my back cover where I want my brad to go through. Kind of a similar idea. So I'm going to mark it and just kind of poke that hole. And then I'm going to take my brad and I'm going to feed my rubber band right into my brad like this, right up next to the head part. And then I'm just going to insert it into my hole like so. We're pretending our wire is a rubber band. And then it's just going to wrap around the front. And then you can open that brad up and then you can cover the back of that piece. So basically that is what you need to know to do your closure. So we figured out how to do the front and the back. And then you're going to go ahead and just start decorating your pages. And like I said, you can go ahead and in the directions it gives you all the measurements to do this. So I did my biggest pieces first, which are the fronts of my paper bags. And then the inserts for these are not quite 5 by 7. They're about 4 3/4 by 7 because my bags are a little bit smaller. You might want to trial fit onto your lunch bags to make sure that your pieces fit, because some of them tend to be just a hair bigger. You don't want to cut your paper and find it out that it's too small. And then you can just go through and do your tags and your inserts and everything like that to finish up your paper bag book. So I hope you enjoy this, and we are going to have some kits of this available on the blog, and then also we'll put some on our normal website in a couple of days, but you get the members price if you buy it off our blog. So, and I will be bringing you another project later today because we are a project behind. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you later on. Thanks.